got into RC cars decades ago when I was selling pretty much everything RC at the Cudahy News and Hobby Shop in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Right in the middle of that, Associated released this thing called the SR10 and pretty much set the RC world on its head. I finally got around to looking at this SR10 and kind of wish I hadn't gotten away from Associated for so long. One of the first things I noticed on here is that this car is all blue and everything else is stickers. You actually have to look pretty close to tell that they're stickers, so somebody's doing a really good job of putting these things on here. So far, the only thing I don't like about this body is the body pins holding it on. Come on, guys, I thought we were over that. I know they're calling this a street stock, and I suppose it is one, but it's kind of a fancy-looking one to me. Since they're going to be running this thing on an oval track all the time, I expect it'll be looking more like a street stock on Saturday night before too long. I'm tempted to cut the back window out because I don't think a street stock's got a brake light or glass or even those anti-fog wires in it. I know people make a big thing about they don't want black windows, and these aren't black. And it does have a window net in it, but that's a sticker too. And there's no interior to see through those clear windows, but I don't care because it's supposed to be going fast enough we can't see that anyway. The chassis was the main thing that got me to buy the SR10. Associated's been designing competitive chassis for a long time, and all that experience shows up here. The SR10 has everything we need and very little that we don't need. The chassis is built around a very stiff fiberglass base plate, and he added carbon fiber braces that add rigidity to the center of the chassis. Low CG is crucial for oval track handling, and Associated didn't just use shorter springs to get it down there. It's designed into the chassis. It seems like it's fashionable to hang the motor out the back of the chassis, but this is an oval track car. Putting the motor in front of the back tires increases the bite at the front wheels, which get kind of important when you get to the turns. Notice a machined aluminum waterfall and a carbon fiber connector that both add to the stability of the center of this chassis. Keep the chassis rigid, and tuning the suspension gets way easier. A metal gear steering servo with a metal control horn is installed at the factory. For some reason, Associated went to FlySky receiver and transmitter for this RTR, and don't be surprised if that leaves the car before long. And he installed a Hobbywing ESC with a cooling fan installed that are supposed to handle 2S and 3S packs. I'll be sticking with the 2S shorty lipos for my track. The body mounts on the front and rear have a lot of adjustment built into them, so we're going to see a lot of different bodies hung on this chassis. There's a second set of holes in the front plate that should let us put these front mounts much closer together, and that gives me an idea for another body. The front suspension has heavy-duty turnbuckles for adjusting toe-in and camber, and 12mm aluminum threaded body shocks on all four corners. People that don't put threaded adjusters on aluminum shocks these days need to go wait in a bus. The rear suspension also has turnbuckles for camber adjustments, but the toe adjustment is built into the car. For most of us, we're better off letting Associated decide how much toe is best for an oval track. I'm confident you can get the parts to screw that rear toe up if you want, but just remember where you started because you're going to be going back. Are they really drilling these rear drive hubs to reduce rotating weight? Wow. The blue machined aluminum block is how they set the toe for the rear tires, so if you don't know what you're doing, leave this alone. And assuming hell doesn't freeze over, this aluminum block will stay right where it is on my car also. The suspension arms on all four corners look to be light and strong enough to withstand all but the stupidest hits. When we hit something that hard, we want the suspension arm to break, not kill the chassis. Associated designed tires for the SR10 have a tread pattern that's going to look surprisingly familiar to the real street stock guys. The tires feel like they'll work, but I don't have any track time yet, so we'll wait and see on that count. And if you haven't noticed yet, the back tires are wider than the front tires, so be careful when you're changing them. Associated also did a good job in designing wheels that look right on this car. The instruction manual comes with this ready to run, looks to be the same one that comes with the build kit. Considering how most people drive RC cars, this manual is going to help when you have to take it apart to fix it. It also covers some of the option parts that you use for adjusting the chassis. And you get a bag with some of those parts with the car. I kind of like that FlySky's got the guts to use BS as part of the model number. These are the controls you use for tuning this radio. It does have an adjustable steering dual rate. It's kind of a coarse adjustment, but it will help. In the next video, we'll look at the basic tweaks that I make to this thing before I take it out on the oval track. I expect there'll be some Spectrum equipment in this thing before I take it outside, so stick around and see.